People, how are you, everyone? Welcome to The Last Word live. Yes, live. As you all know, people have tuned a little bit earlier. This is the only game that I miss during the season. So we are going back to the old pandemic days where we are going live with The Last Word. So I'll be interacting with you in the comments down below. But in The Last Word, we're still going to take a look at both the lineups. We'll talk about the game. We'll check up on the league table, some match stats. We've got reaction from Adam, and we've also got reaction from Eddie Howe. So absolutely fantastic. Smash the like video. We are live on YouTube and Twitch tonight. And if you're watching the rerun of it, still smash the like button. How will help us out. But before we begin, we are sponsored by OneFootball.
What a January transfer window it has been, and I couldn't have got through it without the OneFootball app. The OneFootball app has everything you need, news, gossip, and everything in between. Lee, you've had the OneFootball app for a while now. How much do you love it?
I love it. I'm just looking at all the confirmed transfers that have been happening. It's been a very busy January for Newcastle, and the stories are still happening, and it puts all the articles together, so you don't need to look anywhere else.
The link's in the description. Download the OneFootball app now.
And the OneFootball app is brilliant because I was obviously on the watch along a little bit earlier on, and it just pings. It pings before the goals were going in on my stream. It was that quick. I was like, bloody hell, hang on. I was getting the notifications on my phone before the goals, so it was a bit unusual for me. But yeah, the OneFootball app is in the link in the description at the top. So let's crack on. I've got some comments coming through as well. What a great day as well. And obviously the big news with Roman Abramovich as well. So interest in the world of the Premier League. Paddy says, good evening, lads. I'm grinning from ear to ear after that match. It was brilliant. And do you think Bruno will ever get in the start lineup? Yes, I think he will. I think he will get in March without a shadow of a doubt. Joelinton, if I've just seen that comment, Joelinton has to go to the World Cup with Brazil. Absolutely class. What a result. Eddie Howe for Manager of the Month. I'm all for that, Martin. And Grish, hello. Chris, sorry, hello, hi to you. Right, what we'll begin, obviously, it is the last word. We'll take a look at the opposition, which was Brentford's lineup, and it's in very, very small writing, but the big two on the bench were Ivan Toney, who scored against us at St James's Park when Carl Darlow flapped earlier on in that entertaining draw. He was the one that you want to look for coming off the bench, and so was the fairy tale of Christian Eriksen, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But those were the two. Obviously, we know that Brentford play a wing-back system, 3 centre-backs, and Dasilva in midfield with Jensen, Norgard, and Brian Mbeumo, who causes a lot of problems up top, and obviously Vissa, one of their new recruits. So when I looked at that, I thought, nah, I'm confident because their form has been absolutely shocking. And what was it? They lost 8 out of 9 in total, including League and Cup. Only drawn 1. Whereas Newcastle before this game was 6 unbeaten. Obviously, we're all knowing we've stretched that now, but I wasn't really concerned about them. Nothing feared me. There was that little bit of concern off the bench that Eriksen coming on might lift the crowd and what have you. But I wasn't rattled. I wasn't scared by their lineup at all. But we'll have a look at Newcastle's. Do you like my new graphic? Hey. Unchanged. I was a little bit surprised because I thought Manque would make it. I didn't expect Almiron to get ahead of Murphy because Almiron's dropped right down the pecking order. The midfield 3 are bossing it. I don't see any reason why to change it. I've said that now for a while. Chris Wood up top. There is no one else unless you play Dwight Gale, who doesn't even get a look in. But yeah, the Manque one was probably the one that I was surprised that he didn't make it. ESM, there was some talk on the press conference that there'll be a late decision made on him. But Newcastle are winning games without ESM as well. So does ESM get straight into that lineup for next week? Personally, well, over Murphy. Well, yeah, right, yeah. Go on then. Yeah, go on. Why not? So that game, obviously, the first. It was a good start by Newcastle before the sending off, and there was a clear tactic that Ryan Fraser pick up the ball, Matt Targett get down that byline. Newcastle were going down our left side a lot of the time. The aim was to get the crosses into Chris Wood, which happened a couple of times before the sending off. So the signs were there. And then came the red card when Josh Dasilva was sent off by Mike Dean. Now, funny enough, he actually gave the free kick the other way. And, we had Mike Dean at Anfield. I was literally in front of it when there's 2 players on the floor at Anfield, and he still allows that to happen. Head injuries. And the score from it, I think, was Jota. But he goes to the VAR. He comes back and sends him off. Initially, I thought it is a red card, But I don't think Josh Dasilva means to have that kind of aggression, because he kind of lifts his foot up and stretches and then obviously reaches Matty Targett. I don't think it was a dangerous. No, sorry. I don't think it was a malicious challenge. It's dangerous, yes. But I don't think he was out to hurt Matty Targett whatsoever. It was a 50-50 to be there. He was just more aggressive, and Mike Dean's obviously deemed it as a red card, and I would agree with that. But that was a massive, massive thing for Newcastle. Did it help things? Damn right it did, because it changed the game. Newcastle should have won the game, even if they've got 11 men. Of course we should, because we're the team that are in form. But it definitely helped, because they're literally going to have to park the bus. Newcastle have got to go and win the game with 10 men for over 80 minutes. You've got to go and win the game. So the pressure then started to come. We started getting on the ball a lot more. The ball was still getting played predominantly down our left side with Fraser. How I have to say, Ryan Fraser is my man of the match by a mile for me. I thought he was absolutely sensational. It's great to see him have a bit more form. He was playing on the left-hand side, because the last few weeks he's been playing on the right. So he switched Murphy and Fraser around this week, which I should have mentioned in the lineup. But all the play coming down there, and it was just a case, right, Newcastle need to break that goal, need to get that first goal. And this man, I mean, he's a revelation, isn't he, in centre midfield? Eddie Howe's picked it up, and great leaping header. I think it was Aya who was up against him, didn't fancy it for the challenge, and Joelinton just jumps high, heads down into the back of the net. Back of the net. He runs, he literally sprints to the other side of the stadium, celebrating Newcastle fans. They got absolutely wild, absolutely nuts with it. Great celebration from Joelinton. He just wanted to get away from his teammates and go and celebrate with the fans. And he's starting, if he's not already, become a massive, massive fan favourite, in particular in the stadium with home and away. So, yeah, great scenes, absolutely great scenes. And Newcastle thoroughly deserved it. But again, as I say, I must stress, you expect Newcastle to be 1-0 up. Of course you do. And then, right, okay, can we go and get the second and possibly kill the game off? Again, there was a couple of chances here and there from Newcastle. Dubravka wasn't really tested until the second half, but in that first half, it was all Newcastle. And I don't know what Fabian Schar is doing up the pitch, because it's from like a set piece. And I thought it was Chris Wood. But my God, it was fucking sexy as fuck. It was sexy as fuck. The thing that what he did, it was like world-class centre-forward player. What is Fabian Schar doing up there anyway? And there's a long ball that comes through, and he's tussling with the defender, and he has a magnificent touch to get it away from the defender. He runs through, he plays in Joe Willock. Joe Willock, kind of like a Thierry Henry, where he spins it in the top right, opens his body up, curls it. What a goal. That, for me, is the best assist this season, hands down. Absolutely sensational play from Fabian Schar. I was like, why is he doing up there? And what play? I mean, I thought initially it was Chris Wood, because I was watching it on my mobile today, because obviously I'm not at the ground today. And it was absolutely sensational. What a great counter-attacking goal. Absolutely sensational. Absolutely sensational. And then obviously Newcastle, gone into leading comfortably, and Brentford have got to come out and try and get something in the second half, which we'll pause for a minute. I'll just have a look at what he's saying. Simon's saying, what did Fraser, not Murphy, Maggot was saying, he's fantastic. Lee's gone out and say one of our members, Big Joe, loved his work. Absolutely fantastic. Fraser looks like he's lost a bit of weight, his Bandit as well. So absolutely buzzing, Carlos. And we've got another one here. Shehan said, personally, I think Bruno not playing and the side performing well is a good thing. Takes the pressure of expectation of turning things around off him. Yeah, we'll talk about him in a minute, because he did come on as well. Looked at Dan Burn. He's been on the pitch for Brighton. He only let in 9 goals. It was a bad challenge, but he definitely didn't mean it, to Smithy as well. So it was good. It was great. And Andy was at the ground, sat with the Brentford fans, nearly exploded, keeping it all together when Joe scored. And Kieran's gone out and said, how do you think we'll go down this season? How many more wins we will give Newcastle breathing space, I think he means. We're going to take a look at the league table shortly, but going into the second half, the game, it wasn't as Sky Sports have actually picked it for game of the day, because it was on before. It wasn't as frantic as the first half. Brentford had to come out the 2-0 down. They played more games. They were in a relegation scrap. They're playing one against the rivals. So they didn't test Dubravka, really, to be honest with you. And Dubravka really only had a late save, which he's meant to save later on. I know No God went close with the curler, but Brentford didn't really offer much going forward. I know Ivan Toney came on. Christian Eriksen, I've got to highlight this because this is a wonderful thing to see in football that he's back. And whether you're a Newcastle fan, you've just got to say, do you know what? It's fantastic for his health, mentally and physically, that he's back in football playing. And I'm not being disrespectful to Brentford, but he's a much better player than that level. That's just because people probably didn't want to take a chance on him, and his family were there and it was emotional for him. Standing ovation from both sets of Newcastle fans, the well-done team fans and the Bees. And it's great to see that he's back in football because this is bigger than football. This is someone's life, that we all witnessed watching on telly, that he was effectively dying. I thought he was dead. So it's fantastic to see Christian Eriksen back. I was a little bit worried that he might come on and change a few things, but that I can say in hindsight, obviously we're 2-0 up. They've got a red card. It was a lot more easy. I was more, in a selfish way, I was more happy for him to come on and get his moment. But in the bigger picture, it was a fantastic thing. And it's a day of fantastic stuff. And obviously I've seen it in the Everton-Manchester City game as well. The two Ukrainian lads from both sides, very emotional, coming out of Goodison Park, and all the teammates coming together and the fans as well. So it's really, really good to see that football can unite together in bad situations and horrible circumstances, because we know what else is happening across Ukraine, and it's bigger than football. But that moment for Eriksen and those two lads for the Ukraine as well was a nice little moment for them. So big shout out to those. The fans were absolutely mint. I've seen the scene. I'm not gonna lie, because this is the first game I've missed, and it'll be the only game I missed. It's killing me today not being there. There's a lot of fans who don't have enough Alighted points. They shouldn't really be in there, but they've got obviously mates with higher end tickets, so fair play. And they've also got coaches that can get tickets as well for high points. So fantastic. I was jealous. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't there, but I'll be at every other game. But yeah, fantastic scenes. Absolutely. I've seen a couple of videos on Twitter. I've seen the boat one. I've seen the ones inside the stadium. Yeah, yo, up the Premier League we go. All of that, which was great. And I wanted to highlight what Adam was saying, because he's been down there for us. So we can still say that we've been every game. Thanks to Adam today. Here is his 60-second reaction.
Joelinton again, just class, start finish. I'm going to give a massive shout out to Ryan Fraser for me, who I thought was man of the match. I thought he was just non-stop the entire game. If I remember right, he set up Joelinton's header. Correct me if I'm wrong, obviously in the comments, but great memories from today. Brentford corner started to get a bit twitchy towards the end of the first half, which usually we're quite solid set piece at the minute with big Dan Burning and massive counter-attack. I think it was Fabian Schar somehow bursting forward. Great through ball to Joe Willock, who just absolutely finished it unbelievably into the corner. And again, the away end just went absolutely mad. Credit to the fans today that got behind the team from the start. Mike Dean giving a foul to Brentford and then reversing it and giving them a red card just shows how bad of a referee he is. But yeah, hats off to everyone who travelled to London today. It was a great day.
Yeah, so that was Adam a little bit earlier. He's staying in London tonight and partying tonight, so enjoy your night, Adam. But yeah, just reflecting on Bruno Guimaraes, because I've seen Andy's commented there. He came on, visibly different class too, always played the right pass, forward-thinking passes as well, whether it was split passes or whether it was diagonally. And of course, he went close with that shot, didn't he? That fizz just wide. So yeah, it was great to see him get a lot more minutes in the tank and knocking on the door for getting closer for a start. I still don't think he'll start next week, but I think he will when those 3 away games come in a week as well. And obviously, yes, Steve Bruce is still winless with West Brom. I don't know West Brom's results were today, Smithy. But yeah, and there you go. Bruno's forward passing is something we've been missing. A good runner in front. I can see what he's going to be good next season. But yes, and obviously we've seen Jamal Lascelles come on for the last 10 minutes. Miguel Miron got a couple of minutes right at the end, but in all honesty, it was comfortable. It was absolutely comfortable for Newcastle because I think in all honesty, I think the 10 men did help. Would we still have won? I think so with 11 men. I said 1-0. I think Newcastle would have still won the game because Brentford are dropping like a bit like Leeds and Everton, that they're dropping down that league table massively. West Brom play on Monday. Thank you very much, Marty. Jody Toon Life says Adam must be in divorce to get a Brentford. Just joking, Adam. See this thumb? He's normally underneath the thumb. He's normally underneath it. But yeah, great for Fabian Schar getting the time to play. There's loads of them. We're talking about this on the watch along that Fabian Schar has been a player reborn. Ryan Fraser is another one. Joe Willock's back on form. Joelinton is another one. And then you've still got Callum Wilson out missing. You've still got Kieran Trippier. You've got Isaac Hayden and ESM, who'll be back next game. But even Chris Wood, I know Chris Wood hasn't got a goal yet, but Chris Wood is still part of a team that is 7 unbeaten. And he got a lot more chances today. He had obviously their goalkeeper was absolutely fantastic. He's their man the match because we peppered their goal in particular first half. Chris Wood was getting a lot more chances. I think he likes Ryan Fraser playing with him. I said this before, I don't think ESM and Wood work together because ESM is just very direct and wants to win at a player, whereas Wood wants the ball in the box and Fraser does that for him. But it was promising to say Wood have more chances. The more chances he has, maths will work out that he'll score more goals. We are going to hear from Eddie Howe in a second, but I want to just bring up some of the stats because this shows you how dominant that Newcastle were. A whopping 26 shots, 11 on target, possession 63%. If you noticed, I know we're playing against 10 men, it's easy to get yourself like carried away. But if you look at the possession stats, the last 10 games, you'll see that Newcastle now are not hovering around 27, 28% against any team. You know, nearly 500 passes, pass accuracy is a lot higher. That used to be in the 70s under Bruce, 83. Less fouls, yes, less yellow cards, same amount of corners. But yeah, Newcastle dominating. The stats don't lie. Normally, you shouldn't really look at stats because it doesn't always tell you the picture. But it was let's face it was an easy afternoon for Newcastle because, again, I think we would have still won regardless of the red card. But I will. What we'll do is we'll hear from Eddie Howe, and he's around 60 seconds long. This clip.
Yeah, good performance. I think we're just delighted to keep our run going. We've had 2 really tough away games. We've come away with 4 points, so really pleased with that. We know the job's not done, and we've still got a long way to go. But the spirit, togetherness in the squad is really high at the moment, and we're playing with confidence. The bench behind me, our bench behind me, was saying that it was a bad tackle. I haven't seen it again, so I trust VAR and obviously the decision that was made. A brilliant goal. Fabian Schar did really well in the build up to that, and it was a really good finish from Joe. And I think we needed the second goal because Brentford showed real spirit in the second half, and we knew with Tony and Eriksen coming from the bench that they would potentially have a lift their team, and they did. But we defended well, and it's great to get a clean sheet. No, I don't think there is daylight. I think it's still so tight. I mean, you look at the teams that are congested together. One bad run could see you nosedive again. So look, we're on a really good run. The spirit, as I said, is high. The confidence is returning to the players. But we know that we have some tough fixtures ahead, so we're not taking anything for granted.
Yeah, so that was Eddie Howe. We can't play video footage just in case we get hit with copyright, so we have to use audio format. But that was Eddie Howe talking after the game, and he mentioned the league table, which I will have a look at for you in just a second. Thank you very much, Ashley, for your donation. Ashley says, crazy what a bit of money and hope can bring. I think he says hope can. Really happy with the way we're playing, not shying away from teams getting straight into this. So yeah, you're right, Ashley. It goes on, even Eddie Howe was saying there, the confidence, that the belief that's back with the players. And he says, look, we don't have daylight just yet, but we've got to be careful because he says there one loss could turn that into 2 losses, into 3 losses, into 4 losses. And I wouldn't necessarily say, people who aren't Newcastle fans will say, "Oh, Newcastle are only climbing the table because of the transfers." Well, Matty Targett was alone, and I forgot to mention Matty Targett because Matty Targett's been brilliant the 3 games he's played. He was alone. Dan Burn was only 13 million. Kieran Trippier wasn't even involved today. Bruno Guimaraes come off the bench, so yes, squad depth, but the starting 11 really in January. Chris Wood to some extent, yes, but it's not like all of those signings are in there. Half of them are at the minute. So yeah, hope can bring that. And then money will bring that in the summer because you expect Newcastle to go a little bit daft again in the summer, even go further and get bigger targets. We've seen it earlier on today when I've done the video with the Athletic. If you haven't seen it, it's on the channel. It's 36 minutes long. Break it down. And they talked about Sven Botman wants to move to Newcastle. Amanda Silvey said that today said that in the article with The Athletic, which has probably been done a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, it's fantastic. So thank you very much for your donation. Ashley, appreciate that as well. Only 4 goals conceded in seven games. Yeah, clean sheets are coming, 3 and 5 it is. And I think Botman and Zapata will be in the door in June. So we are absolutely flying at the moment. Get Rafinha in here at the post today. And what a brilliant young manager that we have. He's definitely learned things when he was out the work. And he's making the experts eat the words manager month without a doubt. Yeah, so it's wonderful. It is absolutely wonderful to see. And if we take a look at like the league table now, where we are, how much road? I mean, if you said to every Newcastle fan that you're 2 points and our Leicester have got 2 games in hand, but if you tell, the end of February that you're 2 points behind Leicester, you would question yourself. And our Leicester aren't the force or probably they were, because they've massively had a bad season. But it is still tight. You've got to remember, we're only 4 points away from the relegation zone. But there's a change in balance. Newcastle are flying, the 7 unbeaten. Whereas the teams, as I said earlier on, Brentford have played the most, 27 games. They're dropping. Leeds are dropping. The speculation about Bielsa tonight in his future. Everton are struggling with 22 points. Burnley are starting to pick up points. They're winning. They're getting a point here and there. Watford got a point away at Old Trafford. Norwich, I think Norwich will probably go. Someone asked me earlier on, who do you think will go? I think it will be definitely Norwich. I think Watford, even under Hodgson's never been relegated in the Premier League. I think that will happen now. I think Watford and Norwich will go, and I think Brentford will go. They're my 3. Brentford, Watford, and Norwich. I think Everton have got too much quality. I know you Newcastle fans will probably say, well, we did in 2009, but Everton will pull away for me. I think they can win 3 on the bounce quite easily. They've got that in them. And I think Leeds will just stay up, but I think Bielsa come the summer will be gone, even if Leeds stay up. He hasn't signed the contract. And I think this has really stressed him out this season. And there isn't loads of money about with Leeds. And I think they will lose Rafinha. I think he will go. And he's gone and said the last thing I saw there today was Joelinton on the pitch on his own with 3,000 fans singing along about him after a fantastic performance. I never thought I would say this months back. Yeah, the change is absolutely incredible. And what's nice as well is that non-Newcastle fans are starting to pick it up as well. That he's a revelation in centre midfield. So it's absolutely fantastic to say that non-Toon fans are picking it up as well. Eddie Howe's difference for certain, says Davey. Do you think Trippier can be captain next season? It's a big risk if Lascelles stays, it's a big risk to strip him of the captaincy, because what that'll do for him as a man and morale could be hurtful to amongst the squad. But if it's for the greater good, you'll probably do it. I would personally. I just don't think Lascelles, the caliber defender that he is, he's got a lot of proof for me. He's a lot of proof. He had a fantastic season in his relationship with Keelan Clark in the championship when he came up, because we're all singing Southgate's God, his number, and all of that. He hasn't been the same player for me. And that's probably how good Rafa Benitez was, defensively speaking anyway. We have the best midfield, says Jeff, outside the top 3. Bielsa's gone. So Bielsa's gone. I don't know if that's official. Bielsa's just left Leeds. See, I don't even know that. So there you go. That was me saying that he will go and he is going. So it's all happening tonight. You've got Chelsea. You've got obviously the 2 Ukraine lads. You've got Bielsa. You've got Eriksen. So it's a big, big day in terms of football for all the news as well. Brentford fan, 40 there. My team won and lost at the same time. We had feeling. With current form, Europa League's past. No, we're not going to get Europa League. I think we'll stay 15th. I think we'll finish 15th. I think Newcastle will have a dip soon, but it's natural. But I think we'll be fine. I think we'll probably be safe after about 34, 35 games into the season. Steve's gone on to say if Eddie keeps us up and gets us to top 10 this season, from where that is. If you guys want to say that, I'm not. I don't think top 10 is. I think it's too much. Jesse Lingard with Trippier next season, yeah. And how can Lascelles come back into the team again? Probably through an injury, perhaps, because Dan Burn and Fabian Schar are absolutely class at the minute, especially Fabian Schar. I mean, that assist today, man. Fuck me, that was beautiful. Jesus Christ! I mean, any striker would be delighted with that assist. That's our assist of the season, hands down, without a shadow of doubt. And that's from the centre back, and that's incredible. It's mental, brilliant. even though he's a centre-back. That's brilliant centre-forward play. Please smash the like button. We're going to wrap up here on the last word. We've had a very, very busy day. Well, I have anyway. Consider I'm not at the ground. I've done the live video this morning on the Athletics article. I break it down for all of it. If you haven't got access to the Athletic, have a look at the video. Been on the watch along all day as well. And of course, I've been getting this video set up as well. So if you can help us out here on NFTV and smash that like button, that would be massively appreciated. Right then, enjoy your Saturday night. Newcastle are 7 unbeaten. We are flying up that Premier League we go. See you later, everyone. Have a good night. Ta-da.